A Chicago man is making it his life's mission to bring classical music to the masses. He's an incredible concert pianist.
But you'll never guess his other job. It makes Gindes one of Chicago's hidden gems. There's something about that moment you hit the first notes.
Yes.
In classical music.
Oh, yes.
That commands your attention.
Yes.
For concert pianist Gindes, every note is beauty to behold. His favorite composer is Sergei Rachmaninoff, known for work that's pretty complicated. There's easier music to play, Ian.
Yes. Yes, there is. I always liked to challenge myself.
Now that brings us to the other part of Ian's story.
Somebody would come up to me and say, wait a minute, you're in the National Guard and you're a concert pianist, I don't get it.
You heard that right. Musician Gindes also is Army National Guard officer Gindes.
So that was in 2003, I think. I joined up. I wanted to try something new, and I had a lot of respect for first responders and what they do and how they protect people that can't protect themselves. That, along with the music, is all about giving back.
To Ian, it's true harmony.
Music, I think, is a lot about taking risk. And a lot of the Army is a lot about taking risk and being in situations that are very difficult.
And Ian has seen his share.
The Guard does a tremendous amount of work in the state of Illinois. We do flood details and stuff like that. Obviously, that happens a lot in Illinois. We were definitely the COVID response, so when you saw the military folks at the hospitals, that was us.
Both his music and his public service take a lot of discipline.
For classical music, you have to have muscle memory, and there's a physical portion to it.
And great concentration. The longest piece he's ever played, 47 minutes, all from memory, no sheet music. Ian began playing the piano when he was 7 years old, with encouragement from his father, who was also one of his biggest fans.
I was very blessed to be born in a family where we had a lot of music. My father was again, he was a pianist, and he had a huge library of music.
And he also had a wish for his son.
He said, you know, you should play Carnegie Hall. I like to say I did play Carnegie Hall right after he passed. And that was one of his dreams for me to do. And I think that he would have, I always say that maybe he was instrumental in working that out up there.
Actually, Ian's played Carnegie Hall twice. And on that note,
I joke with everybody, the hardest piece on that was the national anthem that I played at the beginning, because everybody knows the national anthem. Rachmaninoff I can get away with sometimes, but the national anthem, I'm not kidding, it's always tough.
For Gindes, performing and recording music is as melodic and as natural as breathing.
It's a very intimate situation, basically putting your heart on your sleeve to an audience. My feeling towards this piece, can I convey that to you?
Ian practices, get this, at least 4 hours a day, every day. To hear more of his beautiful music, you can log on to our website, cbschicago.com. We'll have links to his performances and albums. And we also want to thank the folks at Piano Forte on South Michigan for inviting us into their concert hall for that story.
It's beautiful to listen to. It's also beautiful to watch him perform and see his hands across the keys.
It really is. You know, he said, too, he works it out with his neighbors. I said, how do you practice? Because he lives in a building downtown, and he said he tries to work around their schedules. When they go to work is when he practices.
Oh, I'd love to hear that going to sleep at night, actually.
Imagine starting your day, no alarm needed. Tickle the ivories next door. I'll take it.